Right, now having a bit of a go at drag racing. The Neo's drag kit, the Sunburst. It's very nice. Installed it already. I've got to practice that a bit more. Fun though. Excellent. Same chap. But at a cost. Yeah, the handbrake helps slow down the car quite well, actually. Yeah, I like how you can, the handbrake, you can control the skid, which is very good. I think I'm a bit slow to start off. 6.6. Whether that's good or not. It's my girl. Ooh, on the Pro tree now. I know. Gotta go look at the computer though. Sorry for that. Yeah, I got a 6-speed sequential in this because I like taking this around town. So, well, just open highways cruising. It's quite good. That's why my maybe my takeoff speed is a bit slow. At least I can sort of drive it around town as well. Only in BeamNG. On the handbrake at about 400 kilometers an hour. Well, that's almost a bulletproof engine, that. Oh, just awesome. Yeah, I really enjoy just getting the right revs and then just chopping it down a couple of gears and flooring it. Yeah, it's good value. for going in a straight line. It's fun to drive it. Oh, there we go. Excellent. Okay everyone, here we are in Daz Studio with my figure posed up, ready to go, and here's the final screenshot that I did in BeamNG with all the extra lighting done in World Editor. This is the final composition of the BeamNG shot, leaving a bit of space in this area, in this area here for the figure to be popped in, the way I do things anyway. Rendered her and placed her in, and because of what I want to achieve, I'm placing her quite large and also to the front of the frame, even though she's sort of going out of it a little bit. But I think the horizon line may be sort of maybe around about her knee joint possibly, or just under. So when you're looking at the scene, you're assessing where all the light's coming from in the BeamNG scene, and you translate it to your Daz character. So with the Daz character, light mainly coming from the left-hand side and a bit of the front. So you got the fire. That's quite a strong sort of glow, and we've also got a bit of light from, say, well, I put lights in the foreground that's out of frame, so it's giving a wee bit of glow, as you might see in the chrome there. There's another particle emitter fire in the foreground, just to give a wee bit of extra light in the chrome. But also point lights are also put on the outer part of the scene, just to illuminate the front of the car and also the ground. So it's given quite a strong light, so you could maybe suggest that that's maybe a building or an open door, which translates to this area here. So basically sort of got lighting on either side, and just a wee bit just on the front for the front light, and then I just put a little bit in the face, because I just wanted to brighten the face up just a wee bit. The lighting that I've placed in the Daz character, I think that marries up quite good for the scene lighting in BeamNG. It looks as though she belongs, to my eye anyway. Looks like she belongs quite well. Now, the clothing she's wearing is like you do a bit of in BeamNG, is a bit of a kit bash. So there are probably half a dozen different items from different clothing wardrobe scenarios that I sort of like to put in just to build up her. Well, I like to think she's got a bit of an eclectic sort of fashion sense, and to me it makes it look quite interesting. You've got a whole lot of different sort of items. Render her out and then drag and drop her into Photoshop. Here we are in Photoshop. Now what I usually like doing, once you've got the main image, I'll always do a bit of a duplicate or a copy of it. And the first thing I like doing is just running over it with the dodge tool, just in the range you got it set on highlights, maybe down to about 30%, and I'll just carefully just sort of run over each area, just lightening, just tapping on, going over where I sort of think the areas need to sort of be lightened up a bit. There's the before and there's the after. Just with a bit of burning and dodging. Not too much dodging, because I think usually the darks are usually pretty good for me anyway. You know, just my own personal flavour. So yeah, just the dodging tool set to highlight, and just a low exposure, about 30%. And that just helps sort of bring up the contrast without having to, say, use the curves. But this, you know, just so you can selectively lighten areas up that you want, instead of globally lightening or darkening areas up. I mean, that's how I do it anyway. There's the before shot, before I put all the lighting in. That's the original screenshot that it was set up in BeamNG, and then once you do all the lights in World Editor, it ends up being like this. And then I just do a wee bit of burning and dodging for the final, just to get it to my own tastes, and you're sort of selectively highlighting areas that you sort of like. Right, now this is the final scene. Now Now all I've got to do is open up and drag and drop the Daz character render. So pretty much just drag her and drop her in there, and then just size her up. Now this is the raw character, and usually I do exactly what I've done on the BeamNG image, where I've just adjusted and do sort of dodging and burning, which is what I've done here. So I'll just sort of selectively lighten areas up and darken areas up, just subtle, and you can tell between the two here. That's the almost the raw images that comes out of Daz, and this is what I've done to the final image in BeamNG, because I've in the BeamNG shot, because I've dodged and burned in the BeamNG shot. So you want a wee bit of extra dodging and burning. And what I also find on the main image, I also do a wee bit of curves that I find just, again, ever so subtly reduce down the centre part, drop the blacks just a wee bit, and I find just moving up the highlights, so you've got just a very slight curve. So we go sort of before and after, and you can see that just gives it a bit more density. Final look and pose and position. Now we also see what I wasn't quite happy with was the car's blue, and I thought, well, her red looks alright, but because the main scene is predominantly sort of reds and oranges and stuff like that, she didn't really stand out that much. So I pretty much masked her out, masked all her red, the red areas of her suit and her knee pads, and changed it to a teal colour that sort of was closer to sort of the colour space that the car was in. And I think that, for me personally, gives a bit more pop to her, and helps her sort of stand out and belong a little more into the image. The background, how it's quite sort of sharp, in the background there, and I wanted to create a bit of depth of field. Could have done that in photo mode and BeamNG, but I wanted to try out doing it in Photoshop. Just masked out that area, so you do your pen tool and you're masking all carefully around the whole scene, over the back and up around there. Put a bit of a gradient blur, just gradually blurs back to this area. Now with the smoke in BeamNG, if the particle emitter, it rises up through continuously, which looks really cool in game. But when you take a photograph, it's a wee bit flat. I could do the dodge tool on the highlights and bring it out, but I know that I've got a brush tool that gives quite a good sort of smoke sort of effect. So I choose that and just and put it on a layer, and just keep clicking and it gives various, it's sort of like a varying size one. They're not all like that, but this is the one I found and I kind of rather liked it. And when you just keep clicking, it'll do smaller ones, lighter ones, darker ones. So as we see here, it actually looks actually pretty good. And of course, usual, because it's on a layer, you can just do whatever shape you want. So that's the final one there, using that same procedure. And again, I just copy pasted it from this one, just flipped it so it just sort of looks different, and distorted it slightly so it doesn't look exactly the same. and that gives a nice sort of look in the layers property, the blending, and down to 29%. So if we took that up to 100%, that's what it would look like. You think, well, it's obviously a bit too much. So down to 29, and for me that just adds a little extra to the one that's already there. Just gives the smoke just a wee more prominence. And to also do the same procedure, put a wee bit of fog, smoke, haze, like the fog. It's a cool day, and it's coming in from the ground there. So just put it. Now, what I tried to do when creating the screenshot was get a sort of like a whole lot of sort of well, sort of lines, I suppose. You got lines going through there, that line going up there. You got the shape of her sort of in sort of a triangle, a whole lot of sort of triangle sort of shapes. And I sort of quite like the idea of that. So running with the sort of the angle triangle sort of theme, put in some of my favourite Ron's brushes, which is the sci-fi optical flares, and we've got one here. Now it's basically gives it. I quite like the light of that because you've got almost a triangle sort of shape there. So once that's put in, again, even at 100% in screen mode, it still didn't give me quite what I wanted. So I usually just double that up just to brighten it up, and that gave that sort of carry on the theme where you've got these lines, angle lines, and that going up, and it's also going up towards her blade. Now, because the blade's there, put a little sort of shimmer, and then a little bit more of a glow. It's also got a directional line where your eye's drawn to it, and it's got again a shape to it. And again, put another just to carry on the line, so your eye goes down there and along the line, so your eye gets drawn around in a nice triangle. So again, Ron's brushes, the sci-fi optical flares. This one here, again, you just drag and drop it in, which is that one there. And the other one, this one here, so that gave that direction, a bit more of a highlight where the fire is, and again, just sort of drag and drop it in, and it goes in there, just size it up, shape it, and that's pretty much, so everything that you see here, that's basically placed on top of the BeamNG screenshot. This final image.